Hey guys, I'm Roden. Welcome to another episode of Bomispirit. So glad you guys can come and hang out and check me out. So as you guys know, the Bomispirit episodes have generally been just very quick, short videos, just kind of diving into topics you guys have asked me to talk about. Now, I wanted to kind of take a different approach to Bomispirit episodes. Because that format was really hard for me. It was like it wasn't coming naturally, and I realized the things I want to share with you guys are basically topics that come into my life when they need to come into my life, when I have personal experiences. So it's easier for me to just talk about personal experiences and how that relates to the questions that basically you guys have for me. And sometimes that's going to be more upon topics that are historically related, related to science or related to spirituality, because of course this channel, as we know, is mostly about spirituality. But I also, on this channel, and on this series in particular, want to talk about different energies that are coming into play, for the collective, and that things you guys might experience individually in your own lives. Sometimes there's gonna be tarot cards, sometimes there won't be. So every episode's gonna be a little different, but I want this to be a place of fun. I want this to be a place where we can just talk about shit that's going on right now, stuff that's gone on in the past, and stuff that's coming up that's relevant, okay, no matter what the topics are, all right? So that being said, there's been a lot of channelings that I've been getting for, I want to say, over a month now, is honestly how it feels. I feel like it was well before full moon in Gemini, and it actually started to come up on Patreon during one of my readings for either a new moon or a full moon cycle. I don't remember if it was the full moon Taurus or new moon Scorpio. It was around that time where all of a sudden, we've been getting a lot of messages about masculine energy. We know we've been dealing with masculine energy, especially with Mars being in Aries for 6 months. That time is almost up. And during that time, Mars also went retrograde into Aries. It's been very prominent, especially as we're also moving out of Capricorn energy and into Cancer. Where did that go? Aquarius energy. Cancer, guess you got a shout out. Anyway, so there's been a lot of that. Now, what was interesting about the channelings that I've been getting for about a month or so is all this focus on mother energy, which is really interesting, and distorted feminine energy, which is something we've been dealing with for a number of years. So I was kind of surprised to see it come up, and then I realized why it was coming up. So as we deal with our own masculine energy within ourselves, and of course within the collective, there is this relating back to feminine energy, specifically distorted feminine energy, and mother energy, relating to how we've been masculine. So it's very interesting because I know, just in general in society, men get a bad rap. Sorry, you guys do, right? And it's unfortunate, but it's true. Masculine energy, I think, gets a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of blame, a lot of finger pointing to men and masculine energies. And again, it comes in waves, right? There's ebb and flow to all of this. But at the end of the day, there is this need to recognize in this energy that masculine energy and men have also been victimized. That's hard for some people to swallow sometimes. I mean, let's just go there. This is some truths that we talk about, what we don't talk about, right? But it's true. And what's coming up in this energy and in this time is with our own masculine energy that is distorted or wounded, or there's some energy sitting there that needs to be addressed or resolved or looked at. Now, keep in mind, I'm a full believer in also just observing all of this stuff and not attaching to any of this. So if this is not part of your reality and you don't feel like it is, that's totally fine. This is just something I'm observing in the collective and also observing in my own reality. And like I said, you don't have to attach to it. You can just observe it and just see it for what it is. If you start to attach to it, that's fine too. There's no right or wrong to anything, right? And that's also something that's coming up in the collective and has been coming up in the collective. But coming back to masculine energy, this is really fascinating because as we're dealing with our own masculine energy, there is this resentment, there's this pain that is coming up towards feminine energies, mother energy in particular, and distorted energy in particular. And at the end of the day, no matter what our gender is, because gender is just a label for your meat suit, essentially, right? It doesn't really define your energy. We all have feminine energy. We all have masculine energy. We all have mother energy, father energy, son energy, daughter energy, husband energy, wife energy, and everything in between. And at the end of the day, we also have all hurt each other. Men and women have hurt men. Men and women have hurt women. So it's just interesting that right now it seems that mother energy, particularly distorted feminine energy in particular, is really coming up to kind of continue to aid this process of recalibrating masculine energy and really bringing masculine energy into the fold in a really healthy way, right? Now, the way this can look within yourself, it can also manifest a little bit as needing to be your own mother, right? When we go through these death and rebirthing processes, there is the death, there's the gestation period, and then there's the birthing energy. There's the birthing process. Mother energy births. It does. We need mother energy when we're coming into a rebirthing process in our own lives, no matter what the death process is about initially, no matter what the transformation process is about initially. But it's interesting that it is now the mother to this masculine energy within ourselves, essentially the mother to the sun. Now, the full moon Gemini and full moon Cancer are really highlighting these energies. I talked about this on Patreon with full moon Gemini. The reason full moon Gemini was started to highlight the feminine energy in relation to masculine, specifically mother to son, mother to child, is because Venus was aspecting the moon. Venus, Venusian. We all know what Venus stands for, feminine energy, mother energy. To the moon, also mother energy in Gemini, the child, mother to child, right? Of course, you might also feel this with mother to daughter as well, because there's always that energy at play when you're talking about child-parent dynamics, but there's a lot of focus on bringing masculine energy kind of up into the fold here from a motherly energy. Now, of course, full moon Cancer is also going to highlight this. Why? Because it's Cancer. It's Cancer. It's the mother. And I expect this to actually continue through to January and even maybe even a little bit of February, where we have some father energy coming in, which is going to be really cool. And I think in January and February, we're going to see relations of father to mother, like as like a co-parent sort of energy. And you will be doing this for yourself. You will be seeing this in the collective. And of course, this will transpire in your relationships with other people as well. Okay. Coming back to present moment though, I think there's some more really important things we need to hit on here. I had so many channelings coming in when this first came in on Patreon that it was overwhelming. And I literally, I told my patrons, I have to stop. I have to stop channeling this. We're getting all kinds of crazy ass messages. We started to get a lot of messages about particular archetypal relationships of mother to son. Now, again, these are just labels. You don't have to attach to them. It's just energy that's just there. That's it. You can just observe it. You can just observe it within yourself and be like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's moving around. Oh, that's releasing. Oh, okay. You can just observe it. You don't have to get lost in it. You don't have to attach to it. Again, this is just what I'm observing in the collective, and myself included, and I think it's important to share, right? One archetypal relationship in particular that came up was single motherly energy, distorted single mother energy to son. Now, I am not a psychologist. I am not a doctor. None of that. This is just what I was getting, what I was channeling, and what I was observing. Like I said, please, you don't have to attach to anything. If you're not vibing with what I say, that's cool too. You don't gotta hang out, right? Totally up to you. Because there are a lot of single mothers out there that do amazing jobs. Kudos to you. Here's your shout out. But there's distorted in every dynamic. There's distorted energy that is possible with any energy exchange. And so the distorted energy of single mother to son was coming up really strong. And it has created, or at least it was resulting in, from my observation, was this distorted obligation. And there was a lot of pain and there was a lot of guilt there of looking at this feminine energy, the feminine energy in a masculine's life. Again, even if you're feminine, you could feel this and experience this on some level, because it's all energy that we all have and possess, and we're all one, right? So coming back to this dynamic, there's a lot of this guilt of obligation, of needing to sacrifice and needing to really be there. And sometimes that can result in a surrogate husband sort of energy, or a surrogate spouse sort of energy, or being the perpetual little boy. That was also another result that could come of that. And needing that particular mother figure to be the only feminine energy in that masculine's life. but there could also be resentment that's born out of that. Also, there was this grieving that I was getting to with this particular dynamic of this distorted feminine energy. Looking at the single distorted mother in this way of brokenness, and like realizing that brokenness comes from other people and other masculine energies, and then there's this weird guilt association that can happen sometimes. So that was just one archetypal relationship that was coming up, and again, it's an energetic relationship. You can experience this even if you're female in a parent-child dynamic, like being in that in your own personal masculine energy. So, and again, like I said, you don't have to attach to any of these things. These are just observations. Something else that was really interesting to me is that of this energy is also a chance to heal our relationship with the earth, to heal our relationship with Gaia, and that in some underlying underbelly of collective shadow is this wounded masculine energy towards the mother, towards feminine energies, distorted feminine energies. And as a result, there is this lack of respect for the earth and Gaia on a very, very deep subconscious level. And so as we individually face our mother energy from our masculine energy and other distorted feminine energies, because there were other dynamics that were coming up that I might get into. We'll see. As we have a chance to face this and process this and heal those energetic exchanges and dynamics that have taken place and are continuing to take place, because a lot of us still have parents around, a lot of us still have people in our lives who are really embedded in those sort of distortions and energy, right? Facing that is allowing that healing of Mother Earth as well, and just an innate respect is just going to become more embedded within individuals and within the collective on a subconscious level. So that's going to be really cool to see and have that play out, especially when we move into January and February. Now, the reason I say there's going to be fatherly energy in January and February is because we're going to be entering into Cap season, where we're going to have a lot of Capricorn energy. Now, Capricorn energy is not innately the father, it's actually Leo, and that's also coming into play. But Capricorn energy is patriarchal energy, and we are literally, it's part of what's being gutted. Basically, the last year and a half, time. What is time? In 2020, we've been seeing that dismantling of the patriarchal energy, the distorted masculine energy that I had already just addressed, right? And of course, there's many other layers to that because there's all sorts of wounding and whatnot that goes on there. Again, you don't have to attach to any of this stuff. It just is. It's just energy floating around all around us and in our realities. Oh, so coming back to January and February. So we're going to be moving through patriarchal energy again after coming out of this period of gutting it and transmuting it, giving us a chance to really reset it. Especially 1221, I think, is going to be a good starting point of that, because 1221, Jupiter and Saturn, who have been in Capricorn energy for a while now, will finally be in Aquarian energy, really new in Aquarian energy, and they will be exact conjunct at 0 degrees, 29 minutes. Very, very strong energy. Also, that is considered a portal day and ushering us into Capricorn season. Come February and March, we're going to have some Leo energy come up opposing Aquarian energy that we are now working in Aquarian energy. Leo I do see as the father because it is associated with the sun. So again, highlighting mother to father after highlighting mother to child, specifically mother to wounded masculine son energy. Something else that's sort of going on currently as I'm recording, and we are, what's the date? Oh, I so don't live in time anymore. It's December 7th, as my computer says. December 7th is the day I'm recording this. And as of right now, we are seeing people in our reality, especially, it's also a reflection as how you're dealing with it as well. So as it's coming up within you, it's going to be coming up in your dynamics and in your reality. All right. So also know that, like I said, if you're in observant mode and you're not attaching to this, it's not going to feel as strong. It's not going to feel as palpable. If you're getting lost in it, it's going to be consuming. So just know that that's just how observing energy works, right? It's all about focus. But you might notice that individuals in your lives that you view as masculine are really going to be struggling here, because there is a struggle going on with this. Because Because addressing this dynamic of mother to son within ourselves, and of course amongst people that we are connecting to, is really allowing us to break into new things and really break old patterns and habits. We're smack dab in between two eclipse energies, and they're nodal eclipse energies, right? Gemini and Sagittarius. And Gemini is really aiding us to kind of move into this place of unity, unity consciousness, moving into this place of balance, and of course, addressing the child, and also to help us get to an elevated state of knowing, right? The Gemini opposing the Sag, higher learning, higher understanding. Where was I? So much to talk about, guys. So much to talk about. Oh, that's what I was saying. So there is a struggle here of, if I address this, there's truth that I need to accept about how I view feminine energies. There's a truth I need to accept about how I relate to feminine energies, and specifically how I relate to my mother or mother energies, and even the mother within yourselves. Like I said, to get through this process, you need to be your own mother. You need to be your own mother. And that's very difficult, especially if you've really been sitting in a lot of masculine energy most of your life, and if that energy's been very distorted. So people you perceive as masculine will probably struggle with this the most in your own reality, because we all got our own realities, right? So just know that and just be aware of that. Is there anything else I wanted to address with this? I feel like there's so much more I wanted to address. Something else that was kind of interesting. There is going to be a smidgen of like feminine to feminine energy wrapped up in this as well, as it relates to masculine energy. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. And so you might see a little bit of that ripple effect in your reality, especially if that's something you struggle with personally, of how to relate to feminine energy as like coming from feminine energy, feminine to feminine. And like I said, this might even trigger stuff relating to mother to daughter in relation to masculine energy. That big channeling that I did on Patreon, again, I think this was around the full moon Taurus or new moon Scorpio when this was first coming up as something to anticipate or something to be aware of. There was this dynamic coming up of attention of masculine energy from, and this is all from distorted feminine perspective, right? Like I need to compete with my mother, or I need to compete with my daughter, or I need to compete with my sister for the attention of masculine energy and the resentment that lies there. And like I said, everyone hurts everyone. Hurt people, and everyone's been hurt. So if you're feminine, you've probably hurt other feminine energies. If you're feminine, you've probably hurt masculine energies. If you're masculine, you probably hurt feminine energies. And if you're masculine, you probably hurt other masculine energies. Oh God, that just came in really strong. So that's something that we were also dealing with, I think, in the beginning of 2020, masculine to masculine. And they literally just gave me a download as I'm recording this. That's going to be coming up again, especially with the fatherly energy of mother to father. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. This is a big channeling. There is going to be this healing coming up. I'll say resolution. I'm going to get away from the word healing. There's going to be a resolution coming up of seeing the truth of the linkage of the pain as a sun energy to mother energy, and that dynamic that's played out there, the guilt, the obligation, the seeing the shattering of feminine energy, even though that shattering of feminine energy has damaged masculine energy. There's this needing to accept truth that that shattering was enabled or contributed to by fatherly energy, distorted fatherly energy, and how that has affected son to father. Okay, God, all these little mini dynamics all over the place. So guys, when it comes down to it, we can keep going. We can keep diving into all these little gritty dynamics. The biggest takeaway is that mother energy is really big. We need mother energy to rebirth, especially as it comes to this inner masculine energy, especially with the inner sun that we all are carrying around, okay? Because we all have that no matter what our gender is. Even if you are, it's very subtle, that's fine. Again, you don't have to attach to this. You don't got to get lost in it. It's just something to kind of observe as this plays out in the collective. But yeah, that what was I about to say? That father-son dynamic is going to come into play in the early 2021, okay? That's going to be interesting. But like I said, after mother to father and after mother to son. All this masculine energy really needs to come to light to be integrated individually. And of course, as we do it individually within our own lives, that will happen amongst the collective. But currently, as I'm recording, I can feel it. Masculine energy is really struggling to go there. I can really feel that. And if this starts coming up in your reality where masculine energies are putting their struggle on you, because there's also some of that going on too, because they're struggling so much, it's like they're looking externally, and they're also avoiding. There's like a lot of avoidance going on there. Do what you can to just like clear your energy as much as you can and ground yourself as much as you can, and just stay in that place of observant surrender, right? Of this is just what it is, and I'm just observing, and it's just going to pass by and flow by, because it will. It's going to get worked out. It's going to get worked out. You get caught up in it or you don't, right? But just be aware of that. So I'm actually going to be talking about this more in depth on Patreon. All the Bomispirit episodes, I do a live chat on my Patreon with my patrons, and that's for the Bomispirit Uncut tier. So if you're curious about that, go ahead and check out the Bomispirit.com website, or Bomispirit website, Bomispirit.com. I have the schedule there for all the live videos, okay? So good luck with your inner mother and your inner son. And those aspects of yourself, kind of transmuting this and processing this, right? Because again, you are going to be the mother, you're going to be the son within yourself. You're going to deal with some of that. It's going to come up in your reality with your parents, most likely, or parental figures, and then people who probably look at you as a parental figure, and that's going to be mostly from a lot of very dominantly masculine energies. When I say dominantly masculine, I mean people who really sit in their masculine energy more often than the feminine. So yeah, good luck, guys. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a spread there too on Patreon. I think right now I have it scheduled for December 11th. I believe I have it scheduled for December 11th at... Don't quote me on this. Please check the website. I believe at 11 a.m. Pacific. Check the website. All right. Okay, guys. I love you. I look forward to the next episode. I'm loving this format. This is exactly how I want it to go. I just want to talk. I just want to talk to you guys. I just want to shoot the shit with you guys. I just want to rant and wax philosophical about everything with you guys. But I hope you enjoyed. If you are curious about any other content, go ahead and check out all the information down below. Check out Vimeo, check out Patreon, check out the website, social media, all that stuff is down there for your convenience. And I hope you guys have a great night, and I hope to see you guys very soon, okay? Namaste.